I'm about to say something that I never thought I would say. I recently recorded an album and I ended up using amp sims for all of my guitar parts.
It's terrible, man. It's horrible. Aha!
Now, to put this into context, this was a solo project and I was working from home, so I couldn't really mic up an amp and get a decent tone because I wasn't in an acoustically treated environment. But the experience got me thinking, can you get good jazz tone from a free amp sim? In this video, we're going to compare 4 amp sims that come free with Garageband. We're going to take a look at the Cool Jazz combo, the Clean Studio Stack, the Britain Clean, and the Warm British combo. I've dialed the tone in a little bit on these amps by messing with the tone controls on the actual amp sim itself, and also by messing with the free parametric EQ that comes with Garageband. And I'm going to put the EQ on the screen so you can see what I've done. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these. I'm also going to let you know at the end of the video what I think of them. I'm going to play some single note stuff and I'm going to play some chord melody. So let's get into it. So on the whole, my opinion on these is that my favourite, I'm sort of split between two. For the chord melody stuff, I thought that the Cool Jazz combo worked quite well. It's got lots of kind of low end warmth, lower mid warmth. There's a real bump around sort of 250 to 500 hertz, which I think really works well for jazz. It's got that kind of that mud in there, but that mud I don't think would work so well if you were playing with other instruments. Certainly if you're playing with like a piano and a double bass and that sort of thing, I think that it could be a little bit too muddy. When you try and dial that mud out of it, you're going to lose some of the sound, some of the warmth, or some of the thing that makes it, kind of gives it its character. So I think I'm torn really between the Cool Jazz combo for the chord melody stuff and the Britain Clean for the sort of solo lines. The Britain Clean, I think, had a little bit of a sort of grit, a little bit of crunch to it, which I wasn't as keen on, but I thought it also had some nice warmth. The one that really surprised me was the Clean Studio Stack. I think the Clean Studio Stack is probably based, I could be wrong here, but I think it's probably based on a Marshall stack, and so I wasn't expecting much from that at all, but I quite liked it. It had some warmth, but it also had some air to it. It felt as if there was an upper mid-range scoop, and it had quite a lot of kind of high-end air, and also some nice low-end warmth warmth, some nice warmth around the sort of, I don't know, 150 to sort of 350 hertz. And I thought that that sounded quite good. So that was a bit of a curveball. I wasn't expecting that. The one that I didn't like particularly was the Warm British Combo. I thought it was okay, but there was a little bit of saturation there. It felt a bit like or it sounded a bit like a tube amp that was just being slightly pushed, and some of that clean tone that we like with jazz kind of got a bit lost, I felt. So I wasn't so keen on the Warm British Combo. But those are my thoughts. Obviously, you might not like any of them. That's absolutely fine. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these. And until next time, keep making music.